Sing, goddess of the rage. Achilles' rage, a fury that doomed heroes. This is not a story of cities or wars, but of a single consuming emotion. Achilles' wrath would shape the fate of empires and men. For 9 years, the Greeks battered Troy. The conflict became a brutal routine, a stalemate waiting for a spark. There are no pure heroes here, only men driven by pride and greed. The gods watch from Olympus, amused as mortals struggle below. The fate of two peoples hangs in the balance. It is the eternal struggle between our better angels and the destructive force of rage. Achilles' anger is the engine of history. This is the story of how rage brings even the mightiest to their knees. Who first gave voice to this sorrow? We call him Homer. Was he one man or a name for many storytellers? We may never know, but his voice gathered the legends of a lost age. He did not invent these tales, he inherited them, weaving memory and myth. Imagine a world without books where history lived in the memory of a singer. The Aoidos would sing in halls and marketplaces, lyre in hand, and the world would listen. These stories were not just entertainment, they were identity, culture, and religion. The Iliad is but one episode in a vast cycle of Trojan tales. Each singer shaped the story anew, adding their own flair. Homer's genius was to forge this oral tradition into something monumental and timeless. Eventually, these songs were written down, preserving the rage of Achilles and the fate of Troy. This act ensured the story would echo far beyond the Aegean. The Iliad became a cornerstone of Western civilization. Its exploration of the human condition still resonates. Through Homer, the voices of gods and heroes live on. Their echoes reach us even now. The epic's true battle begins not with swords, but with wounded pride. Agamemnon, king of kings, and Achilles, the greatest warrior, clash over a prize, Briseis. In this world, honor is measured by spoils, public proof of a man's worth. Agamemnon, feeling slighted, seizes Briseis from Achilles, humiliating him. Achilles' pride is shattered, his response is devastating. He withdraws from battle, taking his myrmidons with him. He prays to his mother, Thetis, begs Zeus to punish the Greeks. The war's tide turns. Without Achilles, the Greeks falter, and Hector leads the Trojans to victory after victory. The Greek champions fall wounded, the army is pushed to the brink. Agamemnon's arrogance wins him a petty argument, but loses him the war. Achilles' absence is a wound the Greeks cannot heal. The gods' will and human pride intertwine, driving the Greeks toward disaster. The fires of Troy burn ever closer to the Greek ships. The cost of pride is paid in blood. The greatest warrior sits idle, his rage growing colder and more dangerous. The fate of the Greeks hangs by a thread. The war's true enemy is not Troy, but the pride of its own leaders. The stage is set for tragedy. The gods look on, waiting for the next move. As Troy's fires threaten the Greek ships, desperation grows. Agamemnon offers Achilles riches in Briseis, but Achilles refuses. His rage has become a rejection of the heroic code itself. Patroclus, Achilles' closest friend, cannot bear the slaughter. He begs to fight in Achilles' armor, hoping to save the Greeks. Achilles agrees, warning him not to pursue the Trojans too far. Patroclus enters battle, and the Trojans, thinking Achilles has returned, but Patroclus, swept up in victory, ignores the warning and presses to Troy's walls. Apollo intervenes, Hector strikes, and Patroclus falls. His death is the turning point of the epic. Achilles' grief is overwhelming. His rage against Agamemnon vanishes, replaced by a deeper, more personal fury. He mourns Patroclus as a part of himself lost forever. From this grief, a new, relentless rage is born, one that seeks only vengeance. Achilles' return to battle is inevitable. The gods and men alike sense the coming storm. The war's bloodiest chapter is about to begin. Achilles rises from grief, transformed into an instrument of vengeance. Thetis brings him new armor, forged by Hephaestus, shining with cosmic power. Achilles reconciles with Agamemnon, but only to pursue Hector. The Greeks tremble, death walks among them. Hector, knowing his fate, stands before Troy's gates as his family pleads for his life, but honor binds him. He cannot retreat. Achilles and Hector meet in a legendary duel. Hector flees, But Athena tricks him into facing his destiny. Achilles strikes the fatal blow, avenging Patroclus. Hector begs for mercy, but Achilles, blinded by rage, refuses. He desecrates Hector's body, dragging it before Troy's walls. The city mourns its fallen champion. Achilles' vengeance is complete, but the cost is immeasurable. The gods and mortals alike are horrified. The war's tragedy deepens. Troy weeps for its greatest son. Two forces shape this epic fate and the gods. Fate is inescapable, binding mortals from birth. Achilles chooses a short, glorious life at Troy, knowing it means early death. Hector, too, accepts his doom. This sense of destiny gives the tragedy its weight. The gods, meanwhile, meddle constantly. Hera and Athena aid the Greeks. Apollo and Aphrodite favor Troy. They treat the war as a game, their whims shaping mortal lives. The struggle for honor, Time, drives every action. Achilles and Agamemnon's conflict is a battle over pride. Hector faces Achilles to preserve his honor even at the cost of his life. This code demands courage but breeds disaster. Mortality gives meaning to every choice and sacrifice. Achilles' rage is sharpened by the knowledge that his time is short. In the end, he realizes no glory can outweigh the value of life. The poem's tragedy is the price of pride in the shadow of death. The Iliad ends not with Troy's fall, but with a moment of grace. King Priam, guided by Hermes, begs Achilles for Hector's body. Achilles, seeing his own father in Priam, is moved to compassion. The two men, united in grief, weep together. Achilles returns Hector's body. The epic closes with Hector's funeral. What does this ancient story mean now? The weapons and gods are gone, but the human heart remains unchanged. Pride still leads nations to ruin. Rage still destroys lives. The Iliad is a mirror, showing our best and worst selves. It reminds us that war is not glory, but sorrow and loss. The grief of Priam is the grief of every parent who loses a child to violence. The rage of Achilles is the rage that can consume any of us. Until we conquer our own pride, our cities will never be safe. The song of Troy is over, but its melody endures. Its lessons echo through time, warning us still.